What's up, guys? So I want to talk about how to help children with anxiety. Go ahead and smash the like button down below if you're ready to kick anxiety in the butt, and leave me a comment as well and let me know if you have any experience with helping children with anxiety, or if you have any children of your own that have anxiety disorders, depression, any type of mental health issues. So guys, I'm going to start this off with a disclaimer. I'm not a mental health professional, so that includes a counselor, a psychologist, a therapist. I'm not a medical doctor, and in fact, since we were talking about children today, I encourage you to seek professional help. I don't care if you got to pay out of pocket. I don't care if you got to get a different job to get better insurance. We're talking about children here. In particular, I'm talking about children 12 years of age and younger, okay? Their minds are growing at an alarming rate, faster than it's gonna grow pretty much any other time of their life. I know our minds always keep growing, but this is a very crucial stage in a human's life, okay? They're children, so they are important. We need to help them out so they don't have any issues down the road. So do what you gotta do to get them professional help, because I don't replace a therapist, and you know what? You as a parent don't replace a therapist either. So make sure that you're doing that. Also, guys, from experience, you know, I have 2 children that have dealt with anxiety. I have 3 children in all, 2 boys and a girl. My 8-year-old son has severe ADHD. He was 3 years old when I got with my current wife, and he had a lot of anxieties and a lot of fears, so I had to learn actually the hard way on how, you know, and pretty quickly on how to handle that situation. And I had some bumps in the road, but I'll get to that in a minute. Also, I have a 3-year-old that will be 4 in just a few days. He's growing up so fast, but we're in the process of getting him diagnosed for Asperger's. He's seeing a psychologist and a speech therapist on a regular basis. They suspect he also has ODD, ADHD, and possibly anxiety disorder as well. So you can imagine how tough of a situation that is. You know, I don't know how that's going to end up, so we're still waiting on the diagnosis, but they suspect those issues. So he definitely has a lot of anxieties that I've had to learn to handle as an adult, you know, in a good way. And I'm primarily talking to parents here, guys, but if you're an aunt, uncle, a family friend, or a grandparent, this is a good video for you to watch as well, because you can apply a lot of these, but this is more directed towards parents. That's my experience, really. I haven't dealt with anxiety in other people's children, so I just kind of know how it went from a parent's point of view. So I suspect many of you are parents watching, and there's a right way of doing this and a wrong way. So outside of getting professional help, there are some things that you can do, and I'm going to go ahead and mention some of the easy things, the lifestyle choices. Make sure that they're eating a good diet, because that can affect their mental health. Make sure that they're doing some positive activities, things to help them learn. Make sure they're just not sitting in front of video games all day. You know, make sure that they're doing healthy things. Make sure they're getting plenty of sunlight. Some children stay in all day. Make sure they're not sitting on their cell phone all day. Okay? Believe it or not, there are 5- and 6-year-olds that have iPhones now. I think things like technology have increased the frequency, the number of children that have anxiety. That's just my personal opinion. There are studies out there that see this as a possibility as well. So those are some things that you can do there. But aside from that, we need to focus on patience, especially as parents. That's something that I had to learn. See, I only know how my parents were whenever I was a child, and many of us parent the way that our parent parented us, unfortunately. And I'm not here to bash my parents. My parents did a great job, but I still want to learn from what my parents maybe didn't do perfect and try to do a little bit better. But I did first notice whenever with Rylan, my 8-year-old, he was 3 when I got with my wife, my first reaction after I got used to being with her and we were going to be together, and I was going to start disciplining him to help her out, you know, I was just more aggressive. I was more, you know, I wasn't physically aggressive. I just disciplined him more, and I yelled a lot more. You know, I thought that would solve everything, because, you know, that's what my dad did. And, you know, at least I had a dad, and he was a hard worker, and I know he loved me, but bless his heart, you know, he did have a temper, and luckily for him, that always made me behave. But whenever you deal with somebody with an actual issue like ADHD and severe anxiety issues, that's going to make things much worse, okay? Now, my 3-year-old son, whenever he was first born, we didn't suspect anything. You know, he was an angel, but then things changed very quickly. He was very defiant. He was getting in trouble all the time. He wasn't eating certain things, and I thought I could just like discipline him into doing these types of things. I wasn't being patient, and recently I've had a change of heart. I say recently, it's been about a year or so. I don't yell at him as much as, I try to keep my cool, and things seem to go a lot better whenever I do that. So you need to be patient with your kids that have anxiety, because yelling and screaming and harsh discipline is not going to help them get any better. I'm sorry. I had to learn that the hard way. That's just how I grew up, So that's something you need to think about there. Now, how many of us as parents, and how many of us have seen or heard other parents tell their children, I'm your mom or I'm your dad, I'm not your friend? Well, I understand that. I know most of the time we're just trying to make a point there. If your child doesn't have anxiety or any issues like that, maybe you want to be more of a parent than a friend, but still somewhat of a friend, because I still think you should have that relationship with your kid. They need to trust you, okay? They do love you, but they need to trust you to come to you with their feelings, their emotions, what they're going through that day. So make sure that you have that level of friendship with them, so they have somebody to come to talk to, And if they have other serious issues whenever they become teenagers, don't you want them to come to you and talk to you? Yes, you do. I want my boys, and especially my daughter, to come to me and to tell me what's going on in their life. A lot of children don't have that friendship with their parents. So you need to make sure there's a healthy balance, especially if you have a kid with an anxiety disorder. They need to come to you and pour out their hearts, their feelings. You need to make sure that you're there to hear that. That's very important. So make sure that you're being a friend to your child. That's very important. You need to build that relationship with them. So aside from being patient, building a friendship, obviously you need to be loving and caring. You need to be nurturing. You need to comfort them. Children are a lot more sensitive, all right? Also, tough love. This is not something I guess I can throw this in with discipline and patience. Tough love is something that occasionally I will do on my channel. It's just to pump my audience up, but I'm generally talking to an adult audience. Occasionally there's a teenager here and there, but generally the older you are, the more you can take tough love and turn it into something positive and use it, because I think it's very effective for most people that are adults. And by tough love, I'm not meaning like, get your crap together, or get out, or, unsubscribe if you don't like this crap, It's not that. It's more like, you need to take responsibility for your anxiety. And I know that doesn't seem harsh at all, but saying something even like that to a child could hurt them further. They need your help. They need you to be sensitive to them, to their needs, okay? So tough love does not work most of the time for children, especially small children. Either they don't understand, or they will get their feelings hurt and get discouraged. So make sure that you're keeping that to a minimum. And again, I'm not a professional, so I'm sure there are some children that can handle that, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to take that risk. So you need to be more sensitive to their needs. Now, most studies suggest that kids that have anxiety or anxiety disorders, it originates from a fear. So like a phobia, like you're scared of the dark. So you have to help them overcome their fear. Now, this is outside of professional help. So you need to encourage them each and every day to conquer their fears. Explain to them why it isn't dangerous, or why they shouldn't be afraid of it. Lead by example. You turn the light off in the room, and you can sit next to them. You can do exposure therapy with them little by little to help them overcome their fear, And then eventually, instead of you sitting in the dark with them, the end result is them being in the dark by themselves, And that can be a long, bumpy road, but that's a way of helping them out, to overcome their fears. And, parents have to do that with children that don't have anxiety, but you're especially gonna have to do it with kids with anxiety. Also, you need to be more positive and lead by example. Unfortunately, if your children are dealing with anxiety, they're probably already becoming negative thinkers, or dealing with a lot of negative thoughts. And yeah, it can originate from fear, but you can still get a lot of negativity from that. You don't want this to continue throughout their life, because that can cripple them and lead to other problems. Obviously what they're going through now is foreshadowing some other issues that they may deal with in the future. So you want to lead by example, see the glass half full, smile more, laugh more, be a leader to that child. You need to do that. Make sure that you are doing that on a daily basis. Don't forget, You know, they're looking up to you. You need to set the example. You need to, any time that they have any negative thoughts or negative statements, you need to turn it around and make it positive, okay? You say, no, that's not how we do this. You need to be positive about this, okay? I guess you could say that's some slight tough love there. So guys, I hope you got some value out of that. If you did, hit the like button down below. Also leave me a comment again. Let me know if you have any experience with helping children with anxiety. If I left out any tips that you want to give, go ahead and share those down below as long as they are positive. Also, if you have any kiddos that have anxiety disorders, let us know the story down below. So, my resources are down below. All the tips for my anxiety recovery is down below. Make sure that you follow those tips if you're trying to overcome anxiety yourself. Also, there's therapy down below. Check that out if you haven't. You can do it on your phone, just like I'm talking to you. It's cheaper than in-person therapy. It's still as personable because look, we're right here talking. You don't have to leave your couch. If you have agoraphobia and you're afraid to leave the house, you know, you can do this at home. And also there's thousands of people you can choose from. So make sure you check that out, especially if you've had anxiety disorder for a long time. And, you know, it's worth a shot. It's also very cheap. So I think they start out at $45 a session, which that's a lot cheaper than in-person therapy by a lot. There are 3 journals down there to check out: a meditation journal, a morning sidekick journal, and a fat loss and nutrition journal. These are going to help you overcome your anxiety as well. You need to be journaling every single day if you have anxiety, meditating every single day if you have anxiety as well. My social networks are down below: my Snapchat, my Twitter, my Instagram. Our Facebook group is growing like wildfire. We are over 18,000 members of like-minded people with anxiety disorders and depression. You are all welcome there. We are growing so fast, so be part of that family today. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit that notification bell so you get updates when I put my videos out. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I love you all. Take care, and I'll see you next time.